This is a message to all the women, all the young girls that are growing into their own women selves, and to all of the women above and beyond that teenage time in our lives. But nonetheless, I feel that every woman deserves to feel like they are of value. And from my own experience, I guess expected that that would come from a male, and perhaps you feel the same, and perhaps you also were in search for that, and whatever means you did, whether you found it through being in bad relationships and toxic relationships, or even just being afraid to be in them is sometimes a signal that we're afraid to be loved as well. But I think over the last 9 years of my life, where the most of my relationships have been, that's one thing that I've really touched base with in the last kind of 6 months to a year, that I'm worth more than how I've allowed myself to be treated. And, I don't necessarily blame the people I've been with, or, if I could go back, I'd probably still be that immature young woman that I was, someone that didn't know myself and didn't know my own value. And, I put myself in a position in most of my male relationships, and sometimes my female friendships, that I didn't have any value in that. And therefore, how do you think I was treated? I was treated like someone that wasn't of value, whether that is, sexually, whether that is, emotionally, whether that is, socially. I have to take responsibility for that, because I am my own woman, and I create my own value. I don't rely on any man to create that aura for myself, for me. And whilst I went through a period of time where I thought, no, I'm an independent woman, I don't need a man, there's a big difference between, really desiring to fall in love and making a future together, versus being dependent on a male. And for a while there, I got really confused, because I was always one way, very dependent, very emotionally attached and afraid to lose them because of the own value that I placed on myself, which obviously wasn't very high. And honestly, that has grown over 9 years, but now I feel like I'm at the point where I can see my worth and I can feel my worth. But sometimes old patterns can, fall into our lives, probably as a test, I would imagine, from the universe, just to be able to see whether the same things are going to trip us up, and sometimes they do. And, I feel that at times that's me. I'm that girl, that little girl that thinks, oh, I'm not good enough still, and this is why it still upsets me. But it's growing, and it's not going to be a perfect switch into valuing myself, but it will be worthwhile, and long term I will feel the most happy in my life for the rest of my life, because I've gone through this period. And then there was that acceptance of, not only can I be an independent woman, but I can value myself as an independent woman inside of a relationship and be interdependent with, my partner, which is exactly what's happening. And I'm so grateful for that. But I think it's good to acknowledge sometimes that we're not perfect, and we will feel our values slip every now and then, and we've got to pick ourselves up from that. And it's been one of those days where I've had so many beautiful things to be grateful for, but just those feelings of, of low value because of external influences. And that's where, I'm always trying to better myself in non-reaction and working through my emotions instead of letting them control me for, weeks on end, because that's how my past relationships have always been, is dragged on nasty emotions that don't help anyone. So I just want to share today that, it's okay to feel vulnerable. And, that's taken a long time for me to accept that vulnerability is a real strength instead of it being, I guess, something to feel guilty for. Embrace it, cry it out however you need to kind of release that, tension in your body and in your mind. But just know that as women, whether it is a historical pain body, whether it is, a family genetic pain body, perhaps it's something you've just experienced in the last 6 months or the last year, or, within your lifetime, and it's not handed down, it's normal to break through that pain body and learn to love yourself. And you can never stop loving who you are, and never stop the level of love that you can give to yourself. So I think at times like this, my reflection is very much, what have I done for my body and soul today? And I probably need to check in with that and allow myself to be free from, I guess, what's locking me up inside. I know that my life is going to be full of incredible adventures and love and friendships, and I know that it's only the beginning, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But I think today was that little moment of my pain body that just needed to purge, and I let it. I think I was trying to block it up for most of the day, but I've let it free, and I feel that moving forward, that the love that I have for the woman I am is just going to continue to grow. So for all the young women out there, just know, like, these times we need to embrace as well as the good ones. And we learn something in the bad times, so it's kind of good anyway. Love and light to you all, and stay safe for the weekend, and do something for your body, mind and spirit, just for you, over the next couple of days.